And we're live. Hello! Well, I think we've been live for a while, but it just finished loading for me. Anyways, hello everyone! We're doing chapter 15 today. As usual, we're continuing our story. We're moving quite fast. We only have 16 more days before the new story events end, so really gotta pick it up now, huh? Alright, without further ado, let's get started. Bonus reward by completing new story stages during the events. What events? Passed probably 5 years ago. Doesn't look too long, actually. Not bad. Although, I guess each stage might be very long. 1 ultimate should be good. Oh, playing as Dorando. The school labs in North Africa. The day after the Ark City incidents, this place was once a modern city that served as a hub between Europe and Africa. It was a beautiful Mediterranean metropolis that never slept. And then a single Honkai eruption transformed it into a dead city in the middle of a lifeless desert. Yet, it was for that reason that the city became the school's ideal testing ground. Alarm sirens would be heard throughout the city. The countdown was broadcast at every corner. When the countdown reached 0, a cannon in the heart of the city roared and shook every grain of sand. A giant pillar of light shot up to the sky. The beam seemed powerful enough to cleave the world in two. The light then collided with something in midair. The beam shattered a portion of the sky like a giant mirror and released a rain of broken shards. The shattered opening revealed a realm of chaos. Stars of ill omen blinked within the rolling darkness. Hundreds of shades materialized from the chaos, seeping through the broken gate and falling to the earth below. While these shades tore through the sky, the space-time fabric itself seemed to have tilted to one side. A blonde Valkyrie calmly observed the chaotic scene that unfolds before her. Dorando calmly gave her answer and dove straight into battle. Oh, I like how the pillar falls when we hit it. That's the whole world's... Sorry, not the whole world. The stage has interactive objects now. It's fire. Having observed the test many times, Dorando knew the protocols like the back of her hand. 10 Hyperion-class Honkai reactors run at maximum capacity beneath the city. These reactors power the second key to breach the space-time barrier and create a tunnel to the Sea of Quanta. But unstable quantum interface wetting could cause quantum shadows to materialize in the local dimension. Durandal's mission was to defend the divine key and defeat the invading shadows. But the Sea of Quanta was not the objective of these experiments. Reaching the operational threshold of the divine key made stage 2 possible. The key could then create a tunnel that goes right through the quantum dimension and enter the unknown. The terra incognita were laws governing the universe, and the ultimate truth of life came into being. The imaginary tree, the Araminsul. Well, at least I think it's the Araminsul. It's the world tree, isn't it? The world tree and the world snake.
量子指引绳在显现，幽兰戴尔大人，请继续执行剿灭任务。
Ouch. I keep missing those quick time events. Meanwhile, in the school HQ, Ota, being Ota. Otto, sorry, I keep saying Ota. Confusing him with the One Piece writer. Anyways, Otto's eyes was beaming, apparently. The data streamed from the African base and provided information about the firing of the divine key. Otto's lab was equipped with the most advanced Solium computers. Even then, finding useful hints from the astronomical volumes of data was near impossible.
神之剑能量不足，隧道即将闭合。倒计时，5、4。
The key required a vast power to fire and sustain its beam. Otto had less than a minute to make his observations. He must make sure that every moment counts.
3、2、1，隧道已完全闭合，实验结束。
The massive data stream ground to a halt. Otto waits for his computers to generate the results. Vast amounts of resources were poured into this project because overseeing needs a few numbers. Numbers that he had always been looking for. Numbers that he had yet to find.
观测结果已计算完毕，观测到节点总数18694万，距离目标节点偏差值54。
54，近战甚微。
Otto's voice gave no hints of frustration. He understood the difficulties of these tests. He had less than a minute to observe a near infinity of targets. According to his calculations, the tunnel must be kept open for at least 80,000 hours to find a probable answer. He was not interested in the false realities offered by the bubble universes. He must speed things up. A more effective, efficient method for firing the divine key must be found. This remained the only way to fulfill his wish before the Honkai destroys human civilization.
果然，空之律者的力量是必须的。
I mean, you might as well, bro. You know, basically destroy that entire
这场
team
战斗我必须胜利。
for your experiments.
有意思。你在唱什么？
Man, Durandal's powerful.
量子之影已经全数消灭，已接到总部指示，实验正式结束。尤兰戴尔大人，请返回基地吧。
收到。
The Weimar Labs, 1 kilometers underground, the facility bustled with activity. Work began at the end of every test. Instruments must be switched off or reset. The site must be cleared. The Weimar facility was dedicated to experiments using the second key and could withstand any surface-level attacks. Yet this key installation was only defeated by a single Valkyrie. And the school ace rested in her quarters with a stern look on her face. She had just read the Artemis report sent by Direct Jayton's Rita Roswesley. I'm sorry, butchering the hell out of her name. The most powerful Valkyrie of the school left her quarters without a word.
全力以赴。
Interesting. So Rita's gone back to the school to greet Storando. Go back to May's perspective. Three hours later, after Kiana falls from the sky, I presume. The sky lit up and illuminated the entirety of the Ark City. The residents look upon with wonder. They would never know that they had just escaped the clutches of death. Nor would they notice the savior of the city plunging lifelessly through the clouds. No one noticed except for one. May dashed across the city's skylines, hoping to catch Kiana and break her fall. Enemy mechs closed in from all sides. May could not afford to slow down.
提安娜，等着我，我一定会带你回到大家身边。
有舰长陪着，牙医很安心。真是的，要赶快回去做饭了。
让开！
轮到我了。
This version of May is a little difficult to use.
没发现我受伤了。 舰长，下一个目标是什么？
Ouch. Ouch. Be nice if you don't stun me with your attacks. So delayed from a warning, my friend. May kept swinging her blade. It was the only thing she could do. She finally broke through the final defenses. She was so close to her friend, to Kiana. Oh,
Yes,
I think it's frozen.
见证，下一个目标是什么？Kian，
Before May got any closer, a brilliant blue comet fell from the heavens. The light faded and revealed a blonde Valkyrie who stood in her way.
你是女武神幽兰戴尔。初次见面，雷电牙医。舰长，醒醒，快打起精神！
I'll be right back. I need to fix my bird cage. They just dropped their carrot. Seemed pretty upset about it. Alright, back. That's quite a pose to pasta. Malowats. The wielder of the divine key Abyss Flower and the ace S rank Valkyrie of the school. May, an ex-Valkyrie, knew about Dorando's fearsome exploits. May faced the legend of the school, but she could not back down from the
我
fight.
奉命带走 Kiana 卡斯兰娜。
May drew a deep breath and tightly gripped her weapon.
休想！有舰长陪着，牙医很安心。
Oh no.
把 Kiana 留下。那就用实力说话吧。
Ouch. I wonder if there's a way to fire all of her charges at the same time for me. I haven't found a way to do so yet.
来人！
Ouch.
是时候结束了。
What? The fight hasn't ended yet. Oh. Oh no. That's not good.
到此为止了，雷电牙医，你没有胜算的。还没有结束，我不会把 Kiana 交给你。不错的眼神。不过现在的你，还没有与这份意志相符的力量。
Dorando leaped into the sky with Kiana, leaving a bright afterburner trail behind her. The glowing trail soon disappeared. May realized that she was left alone in the empty streets. May gave chase and ran as fast as she could and tried to push herself beyond her limits. But however hard she tried, she fell forward. She fell further and further behind the trail of lights. She exhausted every bit of her strength and was forced to stop.
我什么都做不到。
She shook uncontrollably and released an emotional outpour of regrets, anger, and guilt. The ease of which Durando brushed her aside and spoke of the fights cut like a knife to her heart. The act of recalling that fight made it worse. Her best friend was taken, robbed with such terrifying ease. But Maze could not forget this. She could not stop thinking about Kiana. The joyful times at Sans Freya seemed to have just taken place yesterday. And then Kiana suddenly turned into the Void Queen of the Honkai, who wore a grim smile on her face. May fought long and hard for this reunion, only to see Durando swooping in and taking her away. Everything had changed except for herself. She remained a timid girl hiding in her corner. She understood that her chances of getting her back were growing slimmer. You know, May really looks like Scaramouche from their hairstyle. Heliopolis Life Science Arc City. Rita stood amidst the wreckage. She just learned that Duranda responded to her request for help. That thought alone comforted her.
副队长，您没事吧？
亚尔威特，我没事。
刚才天上的爆炸，您看到了吗？是空之律者，真的是他把崩坏能炸弹带走了。他为什么要这么做？
为了保护这座城市和其中的市民。
可他不是律者吗？
现在，我们还有其他事情要做。我已经从神城医药手中找到了解药。如今他们的计划已被挫败，我得在老鼠们四散而去之前，抓住他们的尾巴。我们要抓紧时间，回收神城医药的信息资料。物请自来的，顺着这些线索，也许能钓到大鱼。
副队长果然深谋远虑。警备系统瘫痪了，现在入侵轻松多了呢。
神城医药的系统整个遭到了破坏，他们想要毁灭证据。目标出现，苏醒吧，冰霜的主人！渡鸦还有其他党羽，空之律者说过，还有个带着狗头的人。
狗头是什么意思啊？
也许是某种比喻。总之，我们的动作要快。危机还未解除，还是来晚了吗
Rita bit her lips as she saw the thoroughly destroyed database.
亚尔威特，过来回收剩下的数据吧。
丽塔，你那边的情况如何？
幽兰戴尔大人，神城医药的大部分数据已经被破坏，我们正在想办法抢救。
好，看来你们可以自己解决。我刚回收了空之律者，主教命令我立即返程，所以没有时间和你们会合了。
我明白了。
Rita tried to remain calm, but she refused to cover up her failures.
幽兰戴尔大人，这次任务的失利，我会承担所有责任。
这件事，我会在看完报告之后做出判断。
听候处罚。
丽塔，说丧气话可不像你。不用自责，你没事就好。
谢谢你，幽兰戴尔大人。
The long, dark nights at Arc City finally ended with the arrival of dawn. But the serpent remained hidden. It's preparing to make its next move. It's prepared to make its next move. It's already done. Nice. That went pretty smoothly.
我这是怎么了？身体好重。
She could not see, hear, or smell anything. Her reached around and felt nothing. It felt as though she was swallowed by the darkness and her body just kept sinking. Kiana tried to break free, but the harder she struggled, the deeper she sank. She wanted to scream for help, but no voice made its way out of her lungs. She finally saw a beam erupting from the depth of this abyss. Kiana tried to move herself closer to this beam. The beam grew brighter. Kiana could feel her senses returning. And then she heard a soft voice calling to her name.
Kiana. Kiana.
It was gentle and familiar. Kiana recognized it to be May's. She was almost out of strength when she made it to the portal from which the light poured through. She instantly left the darkness behind her and dove into the world on the other side. Before she could celebrate her escape, the scene she saw shocked her.
这是怎么回事？牙医，你在哪里？
The once prosperous Ark City was consumed by fire. Smoke and screams of pain and suffering filled the skies. Kiana tried looking for May in this devastated ruin of a city, but found nothing but despair. She refused to believe this. She thought that she had thrown that cursed bomb into space. How? What destroyed the city? Kiana desperately looked around for the cause of the disaster. She suddenly noticed her trembling hands. Her own hands. The hands of the Hersher of the Void.
不是的，不是这样的。牙医，相信我，我明明以前……不是的，不是的，牙医，是噩梦。太好了，等等，这里是……你醒了。
Kiana's body tensed at once. She did not know this voice.
你是幽兰戴尔？是我。
Kiana's eyes slowly adapted to the lights. She found herself in a heavily guarded cell. She knew at once what had happened to her.
天穹是怎么样了？还有，牙医在哪里？那里的危机已经解除，没有市民受伤。女武神们正在收拾残局。雷电牙医也和他的同伴会合，离开天穹市了。牙医，太好了，牙医他没事。你现在身处的地方是天命北飞的实验基地。除此之外，你还有什么想问的吗？幽兰戴尔，我早就预想过，总有一天会面对你。既然你已经有了心理准备，那接下来的事会方便许多。如果没有其他问题，那就躺着别动。你现在需要好好休息。
Kiana sensed no hostility, but that only made herself more vigilant. She tried to appear calm. She knew that her situation was one of the worst things that could happen.
班长，班长。
I'm sorry, Kiana, Fuhua's gone. Kiana called out to Fuhua in her mind, but there was no reply. She then closed her eyes and tried reaching out to her, but Fuhua remained silent. She thought about Fuhua's final words. The sense of despair she felt at Ark City loomed over her once again. But she was no longer the helpless Kiana from the past.
看来，只能靠我自己了。用控制律者的力量，应该可以。我说过了，你现在要好好休息。什么？什么时候？
Kiana saw her own panicked expression reflected in those blue eyes. Durando's glare stifled her escape attempt.
这座实验室距离地表有1000米，你逃不出去的。被他发现了，为什么？不用感到疑惑，你的想法很容易看出来。你的身体遍体鳞伤，还在不断遭受律者核心的侵蚀。即使是刚才昏迷的时候，你都不断在向外散发着崩坏能。不论之前你是否做到过，至少现在的你， 无法控制体内的那股力量。离开这里，你就会成为一颗定时炸弹。看来你听懂我说的话了，那就应该清楚自己该怎么做。
Oh no.
主教，他已经醒了。很奇怪，明明连续使用了律者的力量，他体内的崩坏能却在不断增强。
根据卫星对天穹市上空的侦察结果，那颗引擎爆炸后产生的崩坏能并没有扩散开来。显而易见，空之律者吸收了那些能量，他正在像预期的那样成长。回到正题，既然他已经醒了，那就马上开始实验吧。
现在就开始，会不会有些操之过急？他现在依然对天命抱有很强的敌意。
我不认为在经历了那些事以后，还有什么办法能让他重新信任天命。相反，在我看来，他现在的状态能让他展现出我希望看到的力量。开始实验吧，我相信你能处理，用你一贯的方式就好。
遵命。
Private quarters. Kiana stared at a salad. For the first time in her life, she lacked an appetite for food. The Ark City dream and Dorondo's word haunted her. May's fate's ghastly voice further tugged at her heart. Her gentle voice was once a part of Kiana's life. She would hear it when getting out of bed, having a meal, or taking a class. Kiana then started reminiscing about her seemingly ordinary life as Saint Freya. The door suddenly opened before she could seek comfort from past memories.
怎么，你不喜欢巴沙鱼？
我不喜欢吃鱼，因为有骨头。以前都会有人帮我把骨头剔掉。
既然你已经有了开玩笑的力气，我也就不担心你的身体了。
Dorondo quickly cuffed Kiana.
跟我走吧。
这里是什么地方？
如你所见，只是一个废墟而已。
是谁做的？
除了崩坏，还有什么能在一夕之间毁灭一座城市呢？
As Dorondo's prisoner, Kiana thought of things to say, but secretly studied her surroundings.
掏不出什么有价值的信息啊。
Dorondo's intent remained a mystery, but this trip presented a good opportunity. Kiana focused on the fissures nearby that are visible only to her share of the void. Having spent countless dreams training with Fu Hua, she could now find a safe, stable passage within the fissures. But she would need a vast amount of energy to achieve this teleportation, and she had only one shot at this.
班长，
Kiana thought about Fu Hua again, but her guiding voice was nowhere to be found. Now that she was recaptured by the school, what would happen to Fu Hua within her mind? Kiana gave that no further thoughts. She knew she had to escape. Whew. A sudden gust of wind created a dust cloud that separated the guard from her prisoner. Kiana seized that moment.
就是现在！
She concentrated energy within the invisible dimension and tore the space apart like paper.
我必须离开这里。
别耍小花招。
什么？
A lance landed near her feet. She lost her focus. The portal disappeared without a trace.
既然你那么想走，就别用那种方式，像个战士一样打败我，然后堂堂正正的离开。
Having said those words, she opened Kiana's cuffs and let him fall on the sand, into the sand.
看来是怎么都绕不过你了。好啊，那就如你所愿。
是时候结束了。
That was fast. god, second phase. Ouch. 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 Hopefully this is okay, good. I'm glad.
天赋不错，总能迅速找到应对我攻击的办法，但锻炼明显不足。
可恶，这家伙还有心情教育我，但是他真的很强。实际交手了才知道，他可能比我认识的任何一个人都要强。
用攻势压垮对手，等待他露出破绽的瞬间，然后给予致命的一击。
用不着你来教我。
The air imploded as Kiana launched herself at Durando like a cannonball coiled for a powerful kick. Thud. Sharp pain shot through her waist. Her attempt was stopped in its tracks. Durando easily evaded her attack and responded with a similar kick that sent her flying.
这怎么可能？这个动作，为什么你也会卡斯兰纳枪斗术？
这是一门非常厉害的武术。 我在天命的图书馆中深有研究。相反，你的招式却杂乱无章，看起来似是而非。
那是因为臭老板只教过我这些啊。
你的动作并不完全是枪斗术，其中也有不少女武神格斗术的影子。融会不同的武技是战士的必修课，但你只是在仰仗着自己的才能，既不精进，也不理解，诞生的只是一个四不像的杂耍而已。
你到底想说什么？
连最基本的格斗技都不能掌握，你根本就没有准备好。你控制不了你的力量，控制律者。
I can't really argue with that.
你控制不了你的力量，控制律者。
For many months, Kiana fought many battles alone while she drifted about in Arc City. But Kiana felt this battle was different. Her instincts warned her of an insurmountable gap between her and Durando. Brute force would not defeat his opponents. She needed a different approach. Then came a stroke of inspiration. She remembered Fu Hua's teachings.
所谓剑心，你把它理解成让你的身体进入竞技状态的方法。在比赛前，放空自己的念头，放松自己的身体，感应身体中每一处细微变化。最终，除了体内流动的力量之外，一无所知，一无所觉。
Kiana gradually let go of herself. She paid no heed to who, why, or where she was fighting. Months of Weneric training and life or death situations accumulated in this very moment.
モーネンを立ち、呼吸を落ち着かせる。何も知らず、何も感じない。
Oh no. It's tapping into her Hersha powers.
太虚剑气，原来如此，看来你也不是空有蛮力。
热身运动结束了，接下来就让你看看我的真本事。
激发到这种程度，应该也差不多了。保持住这个气势，接下来就在实战中好好表现吧。
实战？你在说什么？什么？那是什么？
接下来，你的对手是他们。
你说什么？我们的战斗还没有结束。
抱歉，接下来的测试才是我的工作。
用你全部的力量击败他们。
Oh boy. Time to be elaborate. Ouch. Ouch.
队又出了一队，这些家伙比天穹市的蟑螂还烦人，这样下去也只是白费力气。天上那个大空洞，他们就是从那里面冒出来的吧？既然如此，就先把你解决了。一击！
Made it through.
空洞消失了，成功了。接下来就是你了。
An exhausted Kiana crumbled to the ground. She spent nearly all her strength to deal that blow. She was in no shape to continue the fight. Her consciousness slipped away despite her struggles. The last thing she saw was the blonde Valkyrie slowly approaching her. Even then, she had yet to realize the purpose or meaning behind that test. I mean, did that work for the experiments even? It doesn't look like there was a lot of power put into it. Tensions rose during the awkward silence between the guard and her prisoner as they returned to the base.
大骗子，明明说我赢了就放我走的。
你只是解决了量子之影，我们的胜负并没有结果。
我刚使出真本事，你就不打了？哪有这样的？真狡猾！
你口中的真本事是太虚剑气。我记得，那是浮华的独门绝技。你是在何时何地跟他学习这种技艺的？
我不想回答这个问题。为什么？还在圣弗雷亚学院的时候，我听说过很多关于你的故事，大家都把你当成英雄。 天命最强的 S 级女武神，这个名号是我的憧憬，也是我曾经追寻的目标。可是，你却选择站在奥托那边。你知道这一切的真相吗？知道我所经历的实验吗？知道那个人的所作所为吗？为什么？你明明那么强，明明不是个坏人，你为什么要帮助天命？
如果没有天命，谁来从崩坏手中守护着星球上的几十亿人？你也曾是天命的女武神，应该十分清楚这一点。这个世界本就没有绝对的善恶与对错，有的只是使命，而我，也只是为了自己的使命而战。
Boom! Alarms went off as surface-level explosions sent deep rumbling to the underground facilities.
丘兰戴尔大人，基地遭到了袭击，是世界蛇的机甲部队。
ティアナさん。逃げられましたか？
Escaped. Train, let's get out of here. No, it's locked. Good thing the enemies are so weak here.
敌人的数量比想象的还要多，这里不是天命的地盘吗？他们胆子还真大。不过要绕过他们的阵线也不算难。抱歉了，我是不会被你们抓住的。
Just as Kiana stood up and prepared to leave, a distant figure caught her attention.
那个人是？
The man seemed to have felt her gaze and raised his head. Though miles apart, she was able to get a clear view of his face.
凯文·卡斯兰纳。
Your grandfather. Very young-looking grandfather. Hundreds of Meg charged through the eroded city streets to hunt down their prey. Kevin stood amidst the ruins, tall and unmoving like a statue amidst the iron tide.
尊主，先头部队已经攻入基地内部，开始与幽兰戴尔交战。
空之律者，
目前还没发现，正在进一步搜索。
牵制住幽兰戴尔，空之律者我来解决。
遵命。
Kevin closes his eyes and listens to the voices that echoed in the breeze. Traces of Honkai energy within miles converged like a giant maelstrom, with Kevin himself serving as its epicenter. He sensed energy streams from various strengths, but none was close to that of a Herschel-level entity. A tiny turbulence in the whirlpool caught his attention. Though it was gone in an instant, Kevin knew he had located his quarry. He opened his eyes and looked towards the ruined skyscraper located several miles away. She saw the girl standing behind a shattered wall.
找到了。
Oh no. Run away!
刚才那一瞬间，他该不会是发现我了吧？应该不可能，或许只是凑巧罢了。不管怎么说，赶紧离开这里。
Ouch.
离基地已经有一段距离了，刚才的视线果然是错觉吧？凯文，他就是之前在我梦里出现的那个人。班长说他很危险，还是离远一点好。只要穿过这片废墟，就能离开这座城市。
你想去哪里？
Oh no.
你怎么会在这里？
Kiana froze in the man's presence. Her body could not even tremble. His deep, dark gaze resonated with a deep fear hidden within his genetic memories of every human. He wore the gaze of a predator that has found its prey.
你是来杀我的？
The man gave no answer. Kiana then felt scorching heat aiming at her chest. The flaming blade was pointed at her heart. He did not hesitate nor give any reason for his attack. The blade then sank into her chest. Oh no.
フア、久しぶりだね。
ケビン、やめてください。
For what? Ah. Saved by the Phoenix's grace.
这里就交。
班长，
Kiana，快走，不要回头。
什么？
我本想陪你再多走一段路，但现在该告别了。
班长，不，
还记得我们在天穹市的约定吗？你答应过我的，我会为你争取时间。现在离开这里，在这里死去，你想要改变世界的承诺也就成了一句空话。做你应该做的，这是你的责任。
班长，我明白了，对不起。
Kiana closes her eyes and ran away without looking back. The girl soon disappeared into the swirling dust.
再见了 ，Kiana。
花，你变了。
或许吧。
玉渡尘，你知道，它干扰不了我的感官。
Fuhua took a step forward and extended her hand, becoming an unmoving as a mountain. His eyes flashed with a sudden nostalgia. The warrior had stood beside him in the countless battles fought over 50,000 years ago.
あなたの意識に干渉するつもりはありません。あなたに私が経験してきたことのすべてを。私の気持ちを見せたかったのです。
The girl ran across the ruins, not giving a care to the battle behind him. Giant constructs of iron steel tried to block her way. She vented her anger and frustrations on them.
可恶！可恶！
Her attacks pulverized and destroyed, but they were utterly meaningless. She clearly knew that she had faced a hopeless fight and was forced to flee. Ouch. Didn't
都
dodge.
给我滚开！ 可恶！可恶！
The girl gave a furious roar. A Honkai storm swept across the hostile mechs and destroyed them. The sudden outburst of stored energy exhausted Kiana. She collapsed to the ground and wheezed. The outburst may have soothed her, but it soon invited a wave of pain and loss. She looked to the horizon and saw a dust storm that blotted out the sky. She knew she had no choice. She must keep moving, or the sand would bury her. Back to Durando.
走这边。即将抵达战场，准备好战斗了吗？跟上我。你还差了。
Ouch. I thought we could pass through that side, but I guess not. 全力以赴，直接上马，节省时间。你还差了点。别看风景了，赶紧赶路吧。
报告幽兰戴尔大人，发现空之律者的行踪了。
Durando looked at the boundary between the city and the deserts. A figure could be seen shimmering in the hot haze.
让他走吧，这是主教的指示。
但这样轻易放走律者真的好吗？
没关系，他不是敌人，只是没来得及告诉他一件事。巴沙鱼没有极剑刺，是不用剔骨头的。
Oh no! Oh well.
这场战斗我必须胜利。发现任务目标。
Missed the ultimate skills.
你还差了点。
Ouch, ouch, ouch.
你还差了点。走这边，全力以赴。
While Durando crushed the world's serpent invasion, another battle ended in the dream world created by Funghorn Down.
花，你最后的一招确实很强，但已经没有足够的力量支持。我们本可以共同见证人类战胜崩坏的那一天。你已经付出了太多，你需要休息。往后的事情你不用再管，我会完成我们的使命。
Kevin touched Fuhua's extinguishing shadow. He opened his hand. An ephemeral feather rested in his palm. The dream would disintegrate in that very moment. Kevin was once again standing in the middle of the dusty ruins.
等一
My
切结
goodness,
束，
I cannot
我
read.
会将你唤醒。在这之前，安心沉睡吧。
尊主，您终于有回应了。刚刚发生了什么？
只是和一个朋友叙了叙旧。
风之律者使用能力逃走了，位置还不能确认。幽兰戴尔也正在向您的方向赶来。
也罢，那就先从他开始。
The blonde Valkyrie suddenly stood before him, before he could finish his words.
你这家伙，就是世界蛇的首领吧？
来吧。
如你所愿。
The sandstorm and crashing waves outside the ruined city symbolized conflict raging within. A sudden blast of extreme cold radiated forward and instantly froze the ocean surface into an icy plain. This anonymous phenomenon heralded a battle of epic proportions that we don't get to see, it seems. Oh wait, hold on. Maybe we do get to see it. Or the aftermath of it, anyways. Oh wow. The two powers are opposing forces of nature, poised to collide in a mighty clash. Only strength can prevail. But just before the battle could be joined, a figure calmly stepped into the arena. He was perfectly composed and treated the scene like a connoisseur admiring a majestic tapestry. Otto, please. It's not the time,
デュ
please.
ランダルやめるんだ。
司教様。
ヨルムンガンドの狩猟よ。君は十分に力を見せつけてくれた。僕も相応の礼を返そう。オットー・アポカリプス。天命の元主教だ。
Oh, that's it. Alright then. I guess this continues in chapter 16. It's kind of a cliffhanger. Alrighty then. Goodbye to y'all for now. We'll be back for chapter 16 in probably a few hours.